Good morning, everybody. I'm glad to see all of you. Man, oh man, oh man. Hey, Cynthia. Good morning. Good morning. Shizzy, someone's using your music. YouTube video where the video ID is made up of 7 UQs for something. I know it's not your music, but it's the first time I heard it outside your stream. Well, awesome. That means I get paid. No, there's always a possibility that they're using the same music that you can get free from YouTube. And if that's the case, well, then I don't have anything to worry about because they can't copyright strike me for it. So no worries on that because I've started using only the YouTube musics and my own creations. Hey JW, how you doing? Good morning, y'all nuts. Good morning, Captain Kern. Hey JW, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh Zach. Oh Zach. My captain, where art thou, my captain? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Sean Bird. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, JW. Ah, yeah, the free stuff. Yeah. See, I don't stress it anymore. I used to stress it because I went to one of those places where it was like, oh, use this free music. It's no copyright strike. No, stay away from it. Just saying. They will come after you as much as possible. Good part about it is if I do get a copyright strike on music, all I have to do is just go in and delete that part of the music out. Don't worry about it. I never go back and watch my videos anyway, so I would most of the time I'd never even notice. And I'm usually demonetized by the time this starts up in the morning. So it is what it is. I just stopped worrying about that kind of stuff and just break out what I enjoy doing. So that's me though. I'm a weirdo like that. But what do we got? Oh yes. New Mexico wildfires claim a second life. This is unfortunate. Of course, rain offers a hope of relief. Heavy rain and hail fell Wednesday around an evacuated village in New Mexico, threatened by wildfires that killed at least 2 people and damaged more than 1,400 structures, offering the hope of some assistance for firefighters, but adding the threat of high winds and flash floods. Yes, if you've ever lived in New Mexico on the high plains in New Mexico, you'll understand what flash floods are about because I've seen my front yard turn into a river before, so it gets wet. Oh man! Good morning, Ingrid. Good morning. I still do wonder who the two beauties are that are cooking in your intro. If they have their own stream, I'd be happy to watch. No, that's some stock stuff. I'm not, you know, it is what it is. Stock images. Air tanker dropped water and red retard. Oh, I thought it said a red retard. It says retardant. Earlier on the pair of fires growing in a mountainous part of the state where earlier this week residents of the village of Ruidoso were forced to flee the larger of the two blazes with little notice. New Mexico State Police spokesman Wilson Silvers said Wednesday that officers discovered the skeletal remains of an unidentified second person in the driver's seat of a burned out vehicle. It's the second confirmed one in the blazes. The first victim was a 60-year-old man found by the side of the road near the popular Swiss Chalet in Ruidoso. Okay. I'm not picturing a Swiss Chalet okay. in New Mexico, but okay. Weather patterns were shifting Wednesday with moisture arriving from the Gulf of Mexico and blander breeder by what? Give yourself a name that people can spell or pronounce. So BB, or I'm just going to call him BB, of the National Weather Service office in Albuquerque. It will be a challenging situation going into the late afternoon and evening, said BB, who has been an incident meteorologist at past wildfires. The potential for scattered to isolated thunderstorms could happen, but it depends on where they hit. And if the rain misses the fires, downwind winds could cause problems for firefighters on the ground. He said rain could also lead to dangerous flash flooding in newly burned areas. It wasn't immediately clear if the rain and hail that started around Ruidoso on the Wednesday afternoon was falling on the fires themselves or if they would slow their progress. But the National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning in the area until later Wednesday evening. Two fires remained at zero containment Wednesday afternoon as crews used heavy equipment to fire build fire lines with water and retards were dropped from the air. Retardants, sorry, were dropped from the air. Authorities said. Officials also said firefighters were on the scene and watching to stop any spot fires that could flare up. More personal. Oh, I was going to say more personal departments. No, more personnel from departments from around the region were continuing to arrive. Ruidoso, much of the Southwest, has been exceedingly dry and hot this spring. Well, oh shit, Sherlock. That's what happens during during the El Nino and La Nina. The weather changes drastically. You idiots. Good morning, Christine. How are you doing? How you doing? Good morning, Roxanne. Glad you could make it in. Good morning, Ingrid. Good morning. Good morning. In case I forgot anybody, good morning to you also. Ruidoso, most of the Southwest, exceedingly dry in this hot spring. Those conditions, along with strong wind, whipped flames out of control Monday and Tuesday, rapidly advancing the South Fork fire into the village, along with homes and businesses, a regional medical center, and Ruidoso Downs horse track were evacuated. Governor Mitchell Grisham office, they confirmed one fatality as a result of the fire, but said had no further details. Okay, we already read all that stuff. So they're just repeating themselves? Yeah, we know that New Mexico's faced disaster before. It's Scott, it's very angry at you for becoming, stealthy Democrats. just, just kidding. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, okay. Nothing new that I didn't report on yesterday already, except for the passing of one person. That really sucks. They probably, and I would say more than likely, they were in their car driving and hit that smoke, and it came in through their vent system, and they tried to roll down their windows, and eventually realized they're not going to make it, and they just pulled over, and that was it. I still do wonder who the two beauties are. Oh, you already answered that. Oh my gosh! But this leads into the next thing here, is what they will do is they will start claiming this is climate change, and of course we've got Salisbury, UK. What the hell? Present share screen. I screwed up. I did that on purpose. Um, Thousands of people across the world expected to go to Stonehenge in northern England to mark the summer solstice, the ancient monument focal point for spiritual rituals. It's the start of the summer with a full moon to boot. To boot? To boot. And here's what we know about the summer solstice. Yeah, what is it? It spins on a tilt as it revolves around the sun. Wait, this sucks for all the flat earthers. Around the same time, the southern hemisphere is its most extreme tilt away from the sun, entering the winter solstice and its shortest day of the year. 6 months later, the halves will switch up. The northern hemisphere will experience a winter solstice, and the southern hemisphere will have a summer solstice. Oh, right. Great. They're going to have to go. They're going to go explain all this stuff. What is an equinox? What is the strawberry moon? Don't. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Well, the moon won't be pink or red in color. Its name comes from several indigenous tribes who noticed that its timing coincided with the strawberry harvest. So, during the first full moon of summer is the time to harvest your strawberries. Good morning, T-Rex. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yes, happy summer, folks. Ray. It's amazing that summer comes around. Summer, and we also have the mark of spring and autumn. What happens when the Earth's axes and orbit line up? Okay, right. It happens every year. Same way with wildfires and all that night and these kind of stuff. But it was this right here, the people showing up at Stonehenge because people just can't have good things and they have to come in and do stupid things. Yes. See, this is yes. So these are terrorists. These right here are terrorists. And they will be arrested. And then they move to make their protest. Howdy. How's it going, JD? How's it going? Yeah, it takes a genius. They're lucky they didn't try this in the US in front of a bunch of people that are very, very much proud of their city. How they even got this close should be surprising to you, how they got this close. Because from what I can gather, and I could be wrong, but from what I remember and was told, is you can't get within walking distance of these. Like you can't get up close to them. But I don't know. My wife and I, we didn't go. That's some anti, yeah, anti T. Anti T is doing that kind of crap. They were arrested after some orange paint was sprayed on. After some orange spray. No, see, this is read completely wrong. 2 climate terrorists were arrested after they sprayed paint on the monument. That's how it should read. Because anybody that's coming in and defacing a national monument should just have their asses beat. I mean, what purpose did it serve them? Oh, now they'll become famous. Hooray. And of course, as the AP has up here, because more than likely this was recorded by their little group that says, and you can see it right here in this little corner right here. It says, "Just stop oil." So that's who put that up there. Where in the hell do they think they got the tires for their car to get to this? Because this isn't just some remote location. This isn't some like location in a city where you can just walk over there anytime. More than likely, they had to take a vehicle to get there. These people are just freaking ridiculous. Don't appreciate them. But of course, you can't argue climate change with someone that wants to disagree with weather changes, because that's what they do. They disagree with changing weather. It's the thing is I'm not a climate change denier. I think they're full of shit, because you need to agree. And if you don't agree, well, then you're just a weather change denier, that the weather changes constantly. It gets warmer, it gets colder. We have hotter months, we have colder months. Wow. We have rain, we have storms. Speaking of storms, well, Alberto's first season named tropical storm dumps rain on Texas and Mexico, which reports 3 deaths. If I'm not mistaken, this is the one that
the system we've been looking at in the.
No, that is not the one I saw. So people are out here playing in these storms, and this is a bad idea. Okay. Yeah, they rode horses too. No, they didn't ride horses. Trust me, not with those kinds of clothes. Uh, I think paintball would do the trick, but that would be ironic. I'm getting closer and closer to to, to walking tall moment. Me in a 4x4. Yes, climate change activists. No, they're climate change terrorists, and they are a religious cult. And I think they should be dealt with as much. That the same way that most people deal with a religious cult, they just turn around and say, "You guys do you, but leave me out of it." As soon as you infringe on my rights as a human being, is whenever I, as a human being, will step forward and deal with you as I would any other terrorist. Now, some people will say, "Well, I would just walk away. I would just walk away." Okay, well, that's how you deal with a terrorist. Taking the lives of your family, your livelihood. So just think, if they come in, they clean off the paint, then they've damaged the monument. They've worn it down. And what's to say that they don't come back again and do it again following week? And what all that it does is it makes it more difficult for people to be able to go and check out those monuments. But don't do what these fools are doing. These two are the mark of right here. We just say stupid. Yeah, one of the undercurrents can come up and drag your ass back out to sea, and you'll never be found again. Don't do this. This is stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Tampico, Mexico. Tropical storm Alberto rumbled towards northeast Mexico early Thursday as the first named storm of the season, carrying heavy rains that left 3 people deleted, but also brought hope to a region suffering under prolonged severe drought. Really? So so it brought some hope because 3 people died? AP, you should write better stories. Mexican authorities downplay the risk posed by Alberto, instead pin their hopes on its ability to ease the parched region's water's needs. Well, the wind speeds are not such as to consider it a risk, said the Complex State Secretary Hydraulical Resources. Oh, these are the same people that dump their trash into into the ocean. Gotcha. Oh, this is what we've been waiting for 8 years. And wait, why have you been waiting 8 years? I mean, I'll get to it where they start talking about it because they'll say, "Oh, we've been waiting 8 years," because every 8 years is whenever the weather changes. Much of Mexico has been suffering under severe drought, with northern Mexico especially hard hit, which happens every 8 years. Hmm. Noted the state's reservoirs were low, and Mexico owed the United States a massive water debt in their shared use of the Rio Grande. Mhm. This is a win-win for Tamaulipas. I don't know how it's spelled. Tamaulipas, Tamaulipas. We'll just say Tam Tam. But nearby Lake Nuevo Leon, or New Leon, state civil protection authorities report count them, 3 people that have died. And it's linked with Alberto's rains. They said one man in the La Silla River in the city of Monterey, the state capital, and 2 miners died from electric shocks in the municipality of. How were they getting shocks? Died from electric shocks. They were riding a bicycle in the rain. Okay. I'm confused. Died from electric shocks? I'm confused. So the only thing that I can think about that might maybe happen is it got struck by lightning. Well, of course they died from electric shocks. Jeez. Uh, sniff, sniff. I think I smell a little AI in this article. Yeah, more than likely. Good morning, Connie. Good morning. That's what I'm thinking too, because this is horribly written. Because it says in Nuevo Leon State Civil Protection Authorities reported 3 deaths. One man died in the Lucilla River in the city of Monterey, the state capital. Okay. So how did he die in the river? Was he trying to cross it? What I mean, give me a little context here. I mean, did someone hold his head under? I mean, the way they wrote this story, it makes it look like he was riding a bicycle in the river because there were two of them that died from electric shocks. I mean, what happened? A telephone pole fell on them? Did they get struck by lightning? I mean, they were riding a bicycle in the rain. Did they were they electric bicycles? I mean, come on. Get better with your news. AP. I mean, maybe a little context here would help like clear up some of these questions. It's like there's a few things that AP is missing out of, like who, what, when, where, and how, and why, if you know. But geez, you people are bad. AP, whoever wrote this story, whatever AI you've got writing this story, who wrote this story? Martinez. Okay, Martinez Barba from Mexico City. Is it just because you can't translate it to English or what? Good Lord. Get with it, idiots. Late Wednesday, Alberta was located about 40 miles east of Tampico, Mexico, and about 250 miles southeast of Brownsville, Texas. Oh, so Brownsville might get hit some nasty weather here. Cheap electric bikes from China? Hell, I don't know. Maybe that's how they were powering their electric cars, was by running electricity in the water. There's an app for that. Alberta was bringing rains and flooding to the coast of Texas as well. No. The U.S. National Weather Service said the main hazard for the southern coastal Texas is flooding from excess rain. On Wednesday, the NWS said there's a high probability of flash flooding in Texas. Well, that's what happens whenever you get massive amounts of rain. Brr. Tornadoes or waterspouts are even possible. Now, that sounds like a party. Areas along the Texas coast were seeing some flooding of the roads and dangerous rip currents. Yes, this is what I was saying about, because water comes in and then you get these rip currents that will rip your legs out from underneath you and drag you under and drag you out to the ocean. And if you ever get caught in one of those rip currents, just some advice: um, don't fight it. Serious, don't fight it. Just let it take you out further. The reason you're getting that rip current is because it's really close to shore, so it's pulling you, and you can't fight it. Best thing that you can do is let it pull you out and swim sideways. So, conserve your energy, swim sideways, and find a safer place to come back in. I just some advice here. Yeah, the reason the weather cycles in such strange patterns is the 8-year solar cycle. It goes from Maunder minimum to Maunder maximum every 8 years, basically calm to chaotic. It's weird how that happens. Oh, really? I've been super monetized. Third ad since I started. Wow. Wow. They That's because I'm doing something special, or maybe they're just throwing them out there in triplets. I don't know. In Mexico, residents expressed hope for Alberto bringing rain. Blanca Coronel Morale, a resident of Tampico, ventured out into the city's waterfront Wednesday to await the arrival. Okay. I don't understand. This is horrible writing. We have been needing this water and now getting thank you, God. Let's hope that we only get water. Okay. You know, water can cause a lot of flooding, and if you're on a waterfront, I don't know if that's all you want is just water. Our lagoon, which gives us drinking water, is completely dry. Well, then how have you been drinking? Tequila? I don't know. Authorities closed schools for the remainder of the week in Tam Tam, as there could be localized flooding. As much as 5 to 10 inches of rain was expected in some areas along the Texas coast, with even higher isolated totals possible, according to the National Hurricane Center. Some higher locations in Mexico could see as much as 20 inches of what? Of rain, which could result in mudslides and flash flooding. No shit. Really? We're gonna, rain can cause flash flooding and mudslides, especially in states that I can't even pronounce. Ah, but look, it's almost like they're prepared for these kinds of floods with their houses built up on stilts and little piers, and looks like they're normally ready for it. They got their boats that just come right up to their house. Alberta was casting rain showers on both sides of the border, extending up as much as South Texas coast and Mexico's Veracruz state. So normally you would put like the main area that it's coming from in your writing. AI, you can get better at this. So you should have said extending up much of the Mexico, Veracruz, the south of Veracruz state, and then as much of the South Texas. So yeah, Alberta was expected to rapidly weaken over land and dissipate Thursday, or it could pick up speed. Good morning, Farrell. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Captain. Oh my gosh. And it is ah, and the thing is, they will constantly say, "Oh, this is because of the climate change." Of course, it's always because of the climate change. Because, well, if you disagree with us, then you're just a climate change denier. But we've got some now. Now we go to the things that are not real. This is the fun part of it. This is the fun part of it. Um, Me thinking the article is written by your special cousins. It was. Oh God, it just kills me every time. Washington AP, whether it's grinning Joe Biden as Dark Brandon, that was put together by people trying to make something out of Biden. Do you know where the term dark branding came from? It's not a good thing. It's whenever he showed up on the doing a State of the Union address with all red behind him, and it looked like something out of Star Wars with Darth Vader. It looked evil. It looked like he had very little concern for the American population. That's what it looked like. And whenever every time you hear Dark Brandon, just realize that's what they're talking about. They're talking about it looking like something out of Yahtzee, Germany. That's what it looked like. The comparisons were very stark. Comparisons were very stark on that. I'll even show you the picture that I'm talking about and where the thing dark branding came from. Because as much as they like to say, "Oh no, it was no big deal," no, it was a big deal. It was a very big deal. This right here is where it came from. Let me see. We'll just pull it up here. Present, share the screen. So this, yeah, right there. This is where it came from, right here. In case you guys, lest you forget where that came from. And of course, we've got this one here. Uh huh. Yeah, people added these in there, and this one here, of course, which was pretty damn funny. But yeah, that was the Dark Brandon. That's where that came from. I mean, people forget what that all meant. Oh, it's no, it's him showing up with his sunglasses. No, no. That's not what Dark Brandon meant. Dark Brandon, it was looking at absolutely evil. But now the AP wants to make it sound like, oh no, it's because he's doing wonderful things. And the people that are doing these right here, superimposing Donald Trump on Game of Thrones, they're horrible at their memes. If these are the kind of memes that you're putting out, then you've totally missed it. The campaigns of the Democrat president and Republican former president enthusiastically create and share content trying to shape the narratives. Well, I guarantee you that one particular president, current president, is not doing his own work. The man can't even form a complete sentence, and if you think that he's able to or has the wherewithal to even try to put anything out there, he's got a team of people that are trying to put together whatever stupid meme that they think sells, and you can tell that it's one of his idiots because they're horrible at meming. They're horrible at even putting anything out there. I swear, all you have to do is just join Biden on X. I guarantee you will just sit there and go, "Is are these people really that stupid that they think I would believe this?" Because all they keep talking about right now is, "Oh well, President Trump is a convicted felon." Really? That's all you've got? What's he convicted of? Hmm. With tens of millions of people using social media as a primary information source, yes, because nobody really reads the AP except to make fun of them and their stupidity. Not the battle of memes could affect who wins. The battle of memes could affect who wins in November. No, no, no. The memes are to show how stupid you are. That does, and it goes even more to show you guys how how stupid the AP is that they have no idea. Many Americans say they're not excited about a Biden Trump rematch. That's because it's a waste of money. That's why nobody cares. The growing digital habits make it harder to reach people through traditional spaces because we want to be left the F alone. We don't want your political agenda. Memes can be edgier, faster, way to get political point. But the only problem is memes are not edgier and faster whenever you have to explain it. This is why the left is horrible at creating memes. This is why they have such a horrible time at creating memes, is because they're unable to put something short and sweet to the point. It's not funny. It requires you to sit there and read through it. It's not tongue in cheek. The left has very little humor. The only humor that they have is just watching people in misery. That they find humor in. That and being racist as hell. Memes have been around for longer than you think. The term meme was coined in 1976 by a British evolutionary biologist who used it to refer to a piece of information that is imitated and shared, be it a slogan, a behavior, or an idea. Democracy, American democracy. No, go to hell. With the rise of internet culture, digital memes have skyrocketed in popularity, but only amongst those who find it funny. They often take the form of visual content like an image or a video with some kind of message that speaks to people who get it because of some knowledge they have or membership to a particular group. What the? No, no. Good memes, everybody gets. Everybody understands a good meme. That's the cool part about a meme. If if nobody understands what the meme is, unless it's some particular little group, then it fails. Then it's not a meme. Ah, yeah. Yes, this is exactly what they're describing where it came from. And they're trying to describe what a meme is. No, memes absolutely have to be funny and satirical. That's the point of a meme. Ah. And while politicians these days work to deliberately create and share memes, name one. Name one. Name one politician that constantly works on creating memes. No, politicians are the freaking meme. You idiots. Ah, Jesus, AP. If AP didn't have their head so far up their ass, that they can smell their breath. Good Lord, these people are idiots. Good morning, Sydney Snyder. It is so good to see you. One of the earliest memes of modern era was former Vermont Governor Howard Dean's enthusiastic scream the night of the Iowa caucuses, with videos and images of his shriek being widely shared. No, that no. Dude, memes have been around much longer than that. Much longer than Dean. Good Lord. When Obama was moving into the White House in '09, the photos of outgoing W. Bush with the text "Miss me yet" were broadly shared by Bush's supporters. And there was the point. It was short, to the point. Everybody got it, even the people that didn't like Bush. They got it. They understood it. The problem that they're trying to do with memes now is they have to have a whole bunch of text to explain the meme. Either you understand it or you don't. There's a reason why FJB stands out so loud and proud. The reason that the reason that F F Biden is so proud, the reason that F Brandon is so proud, or Dark Brandon came about, is because they're making fun of a president and a whole bunch of, if and the worst part is, if I have to freaking explain it to you, then you just go vote left, for Christ's sakes. Go vote left if you don't understand the meme. If you don't understand where these memes are coming from, if you don't understand the point to it, then it's just you're wasting my time. A 2011 photo of Hillary Clinton wearing sunglasses and staring at her phone as text from Hillary purporting to show her sending snark. No, it wasn't. Jesus Christ. Oh. No, it's because she had texts on a private server, you idiots. AP, stop trying to change the news. Stop trying to change history. We all know that she had private text stored on private servers along with emails on private servers in her own location, which is illegal. See, this is why the AP doesn't understand. This is why the left doesn't understand. This is why your people that believe in democracy do not understand. Ah, yeah, with the red con shit. Biden's campaign has created its own stockpile of photos for distribution on Biden related accounts. Yeah, Biden's campaign, because he doesn't do this himself. We're really trying. We're really trying hard to run a digital program that's authentic to our candidate, who is probably not spending all his time on Twitter. Actually, he's definitely not. Of course, no. So I just think we have to be really creative about how to leverage all the corners of the internet so that we can slobber on ourselves, so we can be where he needs to be without him actually having to go to those places necessarily. Yeah, because he locked himself in a basement for a whole presidential cycle, and then continued to, during a whole election cycle, he locked himself in a basement. Trump, which is a prolific user of social media, even before he ran for president, has long embraced memes and shared them. Yeah, because he found something funny and he shared it out there. It was a thought of the day. These Biden has no thought. So for him to be able to share something, how's that going to make me look? Does that make me look bad? Do I look bad? Did I look bad whenever I posted a meme of whatever meme I might have posted? Did it make me look bad? Trump doesn't give two shits about it. Oh, does it make me look bad? Cool. Don't care. I found it funny. Did you not find it funny? I found it damn hilarious funny. Oh, Joe Biden is a walking, talking meme every time he shuffles into public view. No, no, it's sad. It's elder abuse. Biden's team has embraced Dark Brandon. No, no, because we all knew what it meant. Yeah, you embrace being socialist and evil. Wonderful idea. Well, Dark Brandon originally depicted Biden as a shadowy threat. No, no, an outright threat, not shadowy, an outright threat, evil to the core. And now they're trying to portray him as a powerful force to tout his accomplishments, but he has not accomplished anything, let alone be able to meme. See, every time they talk about Dark Brandon, it's just basically saying how much more you're going to get screwed. That's what it means. Now the campaign sells signs, mugs, baby onesies, and even coffee bags portraying Biden as Dark Brandon with laser red eyes. Trump and his staff regularly share memes that glorify him in over-the-top ways, such as depicting him to be leading a band of dancing Bollywood soldiers. I don't know. I haven't seen that one. That sounds to me more like a left-wing type of meme, because I just don't see them. Of course, I don't look for memes about presidential candidates. Those to me, they're bottom of the barrel. Like you can create those memes left and right. I pay little attention to it because it doesn't get a point across. The same way with, if you see one of Biden's, the only point that I get is that he's evil. We all know that Trump can't dance. Just saying. In April, right before the total solar eclipse, what does that have to do with it? Okay, he uh shared a meme video on his true social media account that featured clips of people staring up at the sky wearing eclipse glasses and cheering as the sky darkened before cutting to an image of the sun with a large silhouette of Trump's head blocking it out as people cheer. Yeah, because that's funny. And both Biden and Trump campaigns quickly clip potentially embarrassed videos of their. No, no, most people just don't care. When have these memes gone wrong? Uh, Last month, Trump drew backlash for sharing a video meme on true social media, included the references to unified, among other hypothetical views, news headlines if he wins the electoral election in November. More than likely, that wasn't him. Yeah, these people are idiots. What? And they're not going to show anything of the horrible ones that Biden has posted, the ones that have gone to shit, or like their whole Dark Brandon thing. Yeah. They're going, oh no, this is a great meme. Like, no, it's really not. It's really bad. And really bad. And nobody really cares. We see what's happening with the elder abuse in the in the White House. Hard to say. Both candidates have tens of millions of followers across social media, but that doesn't make them voters. Just because you have followers on social media does not mean that they're voters. And more than likely, they're the same followers to quite a bit of them. If you don't believe me, think about this. How many followers do I have on this channel? Okay, over 2,000. How many of those 2,000 have seen any of my or listened to any of my new music? It doesn't equate to anything. All it means is I have followers, and then I have people that listen to my music, people that watch this, people that join in games. I have people that come on me with panel. I have people that would rather watch the panel. It doesn't equate to votes. So why are they thinking that we think that social media followers equate to votes? Most of the time, they're just looking to get, I gotcha kind of attitude. That's all that they're doing. I think it's time for some coffee. That's what I think. I think it's time to go get some coffee so I can let the blood pressure cool for a second. Here we go. Go get some coffee, everybody. Be right back.
A morning sun, it's a brand new day. Gotta shake the sleep, gotta find my way to the kitchen where the coffee's hot. Take a little break, give it all I got. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Gonna get my cup and start anew. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Take a little break is what I gotta do. Stepping out of bed, feel the reggae beat. Shuffle to the kitchen, moving my feet. Coffee's calling, got that morning vibe. Wake up the soul, feeling so alive. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Gonna get my cup and start anew. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Take a little break is what I gotta do. On the way to the brew, take a bio break. Freshen up my mind, for goodness sake. Wash away the dreams, face the brand new light. With the coffee in hand, everything's alright. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Gonna get my cup and start anew. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Take a little break is what I gotta do. Gotta get the coffee, start a brand new day. Whiz, get up, it's time to ride. Whiz and Coffee, sweet harmony. Down in the kitchen, beans are on the line. Whiz is humming to the streaming time. The aroma's rising, filling up the air. Cup of Java magic takes away the care. Wave away the care. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Gonna get my cup and start anew. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Take a little break is what I gotta do. The sun is shining, so Whiz is dancing with his coffee cup. In the morning every funky beat. Whiz is ready to take on any feat. Whiz is ready to take on any feat. Rise and groove, yeah, rise and groove. Gonna get my cup and start anew. Rise and groove, yeah, rise and groove. Take a little break is what I gotta do. Whiz and coffee, sweet harmony.
My balls are tingling. Yeah, my balls are tingling. Oh, no, no.
That kills me every time. Kick out of that kid. And Rambo is always, always awesome. Always awesome. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Tammy. Good to see you. Oh, so here we go with more information here. This is New York's Equal Rights Constitutional Amendment restored to ballot by an appeals court. So what exactly is this? Proposed amendment to New York's Constitution barring discrimination based on gender identity and pregnancy outcomes was restored to November election ballot on Tuesday by a state appeals court. That makes no sense. Discrimination based on gender identity? This is not going to work out well. This is one of those pendulum swing moments where it's not going to work out really well for the left. The court decision clears the way for statewide referendum this fall on amendment that has been praised by the Democrats as a way to protect killing babies' rights. And of course was assailed by Republicans for the protections it might offer to, well, that would be racist right there. If you call them transgender, it'd be more like calling them confused people. In a short decision, a panel, or just crazy people, I guess is the best way to do it. I mean, you know, if you realize it's a mental illness whenever you think that you have body parts that you shouldn't have. This is a mental illness. In a short decision, a panel of mid-level appellate judges overturned a May ruling by an upstate judge to strike the proposed equal rights amendment. It's shade because they're wanting to make it where if you think that somebody is crazy and you call them crazy for being crazy and doing crazy things, that now that can become a criminal offense. Like I said, this potentially becomes really bad. In overturning that decision, the appellate division judges cited a legal technicality of a different sort. They said people who sued to block the amendment had missed a deadline to bring their legal challenge under a 4-month statute of limitations. This is a huge victory for our efforts to protect access to killing babies in New York and to protect many vulnerable communities from discrimination. A New York Attorney General Letitia James said in a statement. Letitia, guess what? When that pendulum swings back on you, you're going to feel the brunt of it. Just saying. The New York Constitution currently bans discrimination based on race, color, creed, or religion, because that covers everybody. That covers everyone. Simple. It covers everyone. But this amendment would add to that list saying, if you're a certain ethnic group, so what does that mean? Well, if you self-identify as being a different ethnicity and you're mislabeled of a different ethnicity, that means that you would be breaking the law. just by thinking that somebody was something else. National origin. This is where if you're not an American, you could be arrested for looking at somebody that's not American and going, well, where are you from? Just asking that question. That could happen. Age. Oh no, I'm 20. No, it says here on your driver's license that you're 52. Age discrimination. Nice. Sex. Sex? Sex? I mean, do you have it? Yes, no? I don't know. How hard is that? Orientation. Your what kind of sex you're having, which means that if you've got somebody that's messing around with kids, that just calling a map and that they belong on a wall could throw you in jail. And then included in that is identity of gender expression. And then they're going to include pregnancy and pregnancy outcomes and reproductive health, care, and autonomy. Basically, you're right here. All of this garbage that they want to throw in here, this whole list of garbage that they want to throw in here is going to make it, so much easier on a solve sit. This right here, all of these little words right here that they want to put in there is a solve sits wet dream. If you thought solve sits were bad now, go ahead, propose this. Democrats, you are about to F around and find out. You think that this is funny? Oh man. You have no idea. You have no idea how bad this is going to get for you. Like I said, your pendulum is about to swing, and it is going to get vicious in New York. Because they'll go to arrest somebody, they'll identify them as a woman, and they'll identify themselves as gender fluid. You know, the worst part about, blowing, it's gender fluid. I saw that meme. It was hilarious. The worst part about blowing somebody that's gender fluid is they can change their identity and make you gay. Oh, is that Laura Owens? I guess so. I don't know. This is why it's so screwed up. The pendulum is about to swing really hard against these people that are trying to get these things thrown in there. Because if you turn around and you identify as being a minority, because that's basically what they're saying, is you can say, oh, look, national origin. How dare you? How dare you call me Latinx, a Latinx, or whatever the hell it is? And you can have them arrested, thrown in jail, and fined for hate crimes. Even whenever you show up and you're like, well, you have to prove. No, I don't. I don't have to prove you shit. Solve, sit, fucking wet dream. Oh my God. You have no idea how bad this is going to go. The Proposed Amendment wouldn't explicitly preserve a woman's right to have, to delete. The lawsuit challenging the measure was brought by the Republican State Assemblywoman Marjorie Burns, whose office did not immediately return an email seeking comment. Opponents and amendment proposal said its broad language around this sexual orientation and gender could be interpreted by the courts as forcing sport leagues to allow athletes, that are confused or crazy to compete on female teams, but only in New York. See, that'd be the worst part about it. It'll only happen in New York. And then whenever they try to travel outside and compete in for another team or against another team that doesn't abide by their craziness, then they'll be up in arms. Oh my gosh, they don't like the transgenders. Don't care. You're a man. You're man. I don't care what you identify as. You're still a man. State Republican Party said the case will be appealed to the state's highest court. Don't care. That's your state's problem. Now you got to deal with the dumb shit. We continue to believe the legislature violated the Constitution when it adopted the proposal. David Laska, a party spokesperson, said in an email Tuesday, "We will flag this proposal into the courts and, if necessary, at the ballot box." Former U.S. Representative Lee Zeldin, a Republican who has lobbied against the amendment, called it left-wing lunacy. Yes, on X after the court ruling, claiming it would infringe on free speech and permit minors to change gender without parental notification or permission, which will leave our young and vulnerable open to something about pedals, but they don't ride bicycles. I guess that's the best way to put it. And that's what we're trying to do, is protect our children. Are we not? We want the children to be safe, but they don't care. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning. Supporters of the proposal change said it would have no impact on parental involvement. Bull squeeze. State Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins, a Democrat, said she was gratified. Oh, I bet you were gratified. The courts dismissed this frivolous case that was brought forward by the Republican extreme. Who in the fuck is the extremist here? It sounds to me like you're more extreme because you are wanting to basically rewrite it. You don't realize how racist this crap is. How much phobia comes in. You know, it's straight phobia. These people have this phobia of, oh my gosh, I might actually like someone of the opposite sex. You mean, and actually reproduce? Oh my God. You mean have children? Oh, geez. Like do natural biological functions without like having to chop something off and turn it into a gaping axe wound that looks like, you know, that smells like rotten something or other. Good Lord. Democrats in New York have hope putting the issue related to, and what does killing children have to do with gender fluidity? Doyle's initial ruling is that the lawmakers incorrectly approved the amendment before getting a written opinion from the Attorney General. Who wrote this story? Oh, they don't even want to show their name. The AP wrote this story and they won't even show their name who wrote it. Look at that. Why not? Why didn't you want to put your face on it? Ugly, joking, funny at that age, no problem with either. Blame the Democrats. Of course, this was 30 years ago for me. I'm grateful AOC won't reproduce because of climate change. Climate change has some good results. oh, I've got a good one for you. I've got a really good one. Let's see if I can find that one really quick because it is hilarious. The one that I saw. Oh my gosh. Do I have it here or somewhere else? I think I have it here. Oh, I do have it here. Oh, this was 8 months ago. This was 8 months ago, and it was brought to me by someone else. So I can't take credit for it. Here, let me share this with you. There we go. That's her constituents. Yeah, they're all at the Roosevelt Hotel. That's where they're housing illegals.
What is there? What is this here then? Yeah, barriers for who? For who? For us? For the United States? No, you come down. You're complicit in destroying our state. Mental disaster.
Yeah, this is what they don't show you. These are the scenes that they don't show you. They show you the close in of these people standing in front of the microphones and saying, "Oh, such wonderful things," and they look all so happy and peaceful while they just tell the rest of the people to eat cake.
Stories, heartbreaking stories, manifest itself here. But I think these intentions, we are all Americans, and we all believe in America. That's the walk freely in this country. How about that? You're blocking traffic. You're blocking traffic. Excuse me, you're impeding my way. Move. Legal versus illegal petition. I got it. Don't worry about me, bro. Yeah, there's 100 of our colleagues.
Yeah.
And vigilant, work and receive information from grassroots communities, migrant families themselves, mutual aid organizations, and more. But right now, I think our main focus is the federal response so that we have resources and a path to citizenship necessary, or a path to documentation necessary. I have to run. Thank you.
Yeah.
Open it up. Focus on causing you division. It's all the coming to you, motherfuckers, right? How is that bringing unity to the station when you're taking care of illegal immigrants over your own citizens?
Yep. There you go.
They are illegal aliens. They are illegal aliens. That's what they are. Illegal aliens.
These people, man. I'm telling you, still don't know how she was reelected after losing that Amazon deal. Yeah. Yep. Because she lied to people. People are wearing masks. Oh yeah, trust me. Sure shit didn't vote for her. I know. I always wanted to stay at the Roosevelt. I would have just said I'm illegal. Oh yeah, that would have been the thing to do. Oh my God. Yeah, that's the crazy part about all of this crap. Like here's another one that she was confronted in a movie theater. See, these are stories that don't get shown to the American public. Notice there's no illegals that are backing AOC up. Well, they probably don't even know she exists.
You refuse to call it a genocide.
I need you to understand that this is not okay.
It's not okay that there's a genocide and you're not actively against it.
You're lying.
Oh, see, she really doesn't like this. See, she's happy to have other people be confronted in a public space. They're happy to call for, Democrats to assault anybody that supports Trump or the Republicans. They're happy to do that. But whenever the tables are turned, and they're not actually even assaulting them, they're just asking questions to them in public. If you don't like it, then don't go out in public. That's what you are. You are a public figure at this point. You can't handle it.
I'm lying. You went on TV and avoided talking about it.
Because now you can't say it's a genocide or what you're deciding to do a political case. You can't call it a genocide, then how do you say We're not lying.
We're not lying.
You've been
We're not
saying it in
lying.
interviews. It's insane. You haven't been calling it a genocide. Don't tell me I'm lying.
Oof.
Then just say it's a genocide. Just say it. Over 30,000 people are dead, AOC. You can't just say it for once. Just say the word. That's it. That's all we want you to say. Or you're not angry about people confronting you publicly. You can't call it genocide. Over 30,000 people have died.
Yeah, this is where the left eats their own.
Stop.
We're not doing anything. We're just talking to an elected public official. That's all
Yep.
we're doing.
And you're allowed to.
That's it.
To cut it, and you're going to cut this, and you're going to clip this so that it's completely out of context. I already said that it was, and y'all are just going to pretend that it wasn't over and over again. It's fucked up, man. And
You
you're not
did it on
helping
live
these people,
TV.
and you're not helping them.
You refuse to.
You're not helping them.
Oh, she really hates it, doesn't she? Oh my God. Yeah. Remember her lives from January 6th, too? She wasn't anywhere near the chaos, but she was scared for her life. Yeah. She expects a red carpet for her twisted dreams. Yo sé, yo no sé. Nobody else has to make a damn clip to make her look stupid. No, she does it all on her own. Bye, Heidi. You have a good one. You have a good day. Glad you could make it by. Take care, Heidi. Take care. Oh my gosh. Yes, this is the crazy crap that you run into. And of course, like I said, nobody is any happy to show it because, well, that just becomes a little too much for them. Whenever their BS gets called out, it's really hard for them to dispute it. Indiana GOP chair to step down following a tumultuous party convention. Indiana GOP chair Anne Hathaway is stepping down about 10 months after outgoing Eric Holcomb appointed her to the role. Her departure was announced shortly after delegates at the state party convention rejected party leadership and the endorsement of former President Donald Trump to nominate an ultra-conservative pastor for lieutenant governor to run alongside nominee U.S. Senator Mike Braun. Hathaway was the first woman to hold the position. She also chairs the panel organizing the RNC in Milwaukee this July 15 through 18. The state's party's announcement said Hathaway was unanimously reelected as Friday as national committee woman or national chair, whatever, and informed members in the same meeting that she would be stepping down from her state leadership role. Hathaway's successor will be elected by members of the Indiana Republic State Committee June 24th. Executive Director Joe Elsner is also stepping down, the party said. The timing is right just to have concluded our 2024 state convention, and I look forward to working with Senator Braun and the member of the Republican State Committee to select our next chair, Hathaway said. In the party's announcement, the convention came to shocking end on Saturday when delegates elected Micah Beckwith, who promotes uncompromising views, as co-host of the Sex, Jesus, and Politics podcast, instead of Braun's choice of State Representative Julie McGuire to be his running mate. Funny how Democrats' top ladies are former bikini barista and our VP is a former high-priced escort. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Hey, it is true. You can F and S your way to the top. You can do that. Believe it not. All right, here we go. Russia obliterates Ukraine's frontline towns faster with hacked bombs and expanded airbase network. Oh, how did they do this? The first shockwave shattered aisles stacked to the ceiling with home improvement products. The next Russian bomb streaked down like a comet seconds later, unleashing flames that left the megastore in an ashen shell. The third bomb failed to detonate when it landed behind the epicenter shopping complex in Kharkov. Investigators hope it will help them trace that supply chain for the latest generation of retrofitted Russian glide bombs that are laying waste to eastern Ukraine. And the Soviet-era bombs are adapted on the cheap with imported electronics that allow distant Russian airplanes to launch them at Ukraine. Oh, gosh. Other cities that have been devastated by weapons include, I'm not even going to try to pronounce those, and Russia has nearly unlimited supplies of bombs, which are dispatched from airfields just across the border that Ukraine has not been able to hit. I hate Walmart too. Exactly. I really find it hilarious that, it's like, wow, we really look, that's not Walmart. That's that's UTEP or something like that. it, it's like House of Walls. Oh my God. So, like I said, the money that you just all you people, all you fine folks out there, all you people that are tax paying individuals in the United States, all you tax paying individuals in the European Union, all you fine NATO nation tax paying individuals that pays your taxes for your country, that loves your country, all of those countries that are supporting Ukraine, supporting this. That's what you're supporting. You're supporting this kind of crap to happen. Because as they're crying, Russia has unlimited amounts of bombs. The money that you're sending to Ukraine is being wasted. Wasted. It is paying politicians. It is paying for the Ukrainian president to come to the United States to beg for more money, to go to the European Union, beg for more money as they fill their pockets. Because whenever Russia finally does walk in there and take back their countries, parts of their country that they were after in the first place, these people will be billionaires. They do not care about their people. As much as they like to say they do, yeah, Zelensky needs more yachts and supercars. No, he's probably putting it all in Bitcoin right now. I mean, that's the safe place to put it until they lock those accounts down. And they can lock those accounts down. You think your Bitcoin is safe? No, 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 no. They'll just come and arrest you. They'll track the money wherever it goes. That's why people everyone's like, oh, gotta love Bitcoin. No, they can track every single bit of it, where it goes, who gets it. Once they tie you to that account, they know exactly where it is. Now, if you have your account on on any sort of platform, like if you're not buying it on the open market, which you're having to buy it through somebody else, and you're not buying it on the where your know your customer that comes in, like you signed up for Coinbase, yeah, they know what your wallet ID is. If you signed up on Robinhood, they know what your wallet ID is. If you signed up on any of these platforms, they know what your wallet ID is. They know how to contact you. They know where you live. They know everything about you. All these people are thinking, oh, I'm buying Bitcoin. I'm free. No, you're not. Because they know who you are. They have your address. They have a picture of you. Hey, why not? Why not buy it from? I mean, you can buy it in bulk. Other cities that have been devastated include these. Store manager said the May 25th attack hints at Russia's aim for Kharkiv. Their goal is to turn it into a ghost city, to make it so that no one will stay, that will be there, and there will be nothing to defend. That it will make no sense to defend the city. They want to scare people, but they will not succeed. Russia has accelerated its destruction of Ukraine's frontline cities in 2024 to a scale previously unseen in the war, using glide bombs and expanding network of airstrips, according to the AP. Drone footage, satellite imagery, Ukraine documents, and Russian photos. As they kept saying, oh no, all we need is more bombs and rockets. Send us more of your billions, taxpayers. Yeah, why try to hide it? It's just investment to me. One I have no money in right now. Exactly. The results can be seen in the intensity of recent attacks. It took a year for Russia to obliterate Bakhmut, where the bombs were first used. That was followed by destruction that took months. Then only weeks they were needed to do the same. Russia is putting the finishing touches on yet another airstrip less than 100 or 60 miles from Ukraine and launching the bombs routinely from multiple bases just inside the Russian border, according to the AP analysis of those pictures. Uh-huh. What's your point? This is what's called war. The bombing at the epicenter of Kharkov deleted 19 people, including 2 children, and all glide bombs have hit more than 50 times this year. Yup, this is what's called war. He showed investigation documents to AP that identified at least 8 Russian air bases. Okay, we already know this. That doesn't mean they will completely stop their bombings, but it will become more difficult for them. They will be able to make fewer sorties per day. Okay. For months, Ukrainian officials complained bitterly about restrictions on using Western supplied weapons against targets in Russia, including the airfields that house the Russian bombers. The United States and Germany recently authorized some targets in Russia, but many others remain off limits. Ooh. See, like I said, the United States and Germany are running a freaking war in Ukraine. It is a proxy war. This is not good. If they're telling you what and when you can hit stuff, you're not fighting that war. The Ukrainian intelligence official who provided information to AP on condition of anonymity, he said his government has been closely following the construction, which did not appear complete in the photo taken mid-June. The official also noted that Belarus provided sanctuary for Russian bombers. A map created by a Ukrainian battlefield analysis deep state showed 10 airfields in Belarus, which included 5 just across the border from Ukraine. Yeah. And this is what they're using right here. High explosive bomb can range from 500 kilogram to a 3,000 kilogram bomb. The wings fold out whenever they drop it, and then it just glides right on in. That's how they make the glide bomber. They use their cheap munitions, and they just launch it from a distance. Amazing how it works. Sort of like skip bombs. They used to use those also. Basically, they would drop it, pull up really, really quick, and then the bomb would just skip across water, hit its target. Worked very damn effective for like side bombs. Amazing. I remember when the news could cover fraud stories, invite people not to put their personal info on the web. Now it's almost mandatory just to do the opposite. Very true. But Russia does not have the strength to occupy eastern cities. Really? They don't need to. All they need to do is clear the city out. That's it. That's what they're doing. Back at the epicenter home structure, surveillance footage taken just before the explosion showed a salesperson, Nina, walking across the floor towards the aisle that she was staffing that day. Then there was a blinding flash and the camera cut out. While she lay curled in the fetal position as the display crashed on top of her, she uncovered her eyes just in time to see the second one streak inside. With her eardrums blown out, she could hear nothing and saw not a single sign of life. I thought I was alone and that they had abandoned me there. It gave me strength to climb out. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, this is what happens in war. This is what happens in war. I don't know why they have them standing in the middle of a bombed out place. I wouldn't want to be standing in there. Neither Korsov nor the store manager have any plans to leave their hometown. It didn't break me. I will remain in Kharkiv. This is my home, she said, as she shaved her mustache. See, she's covering her mustache here, but I'm so bad. I am so bad. I tell you these things so you remember. Oh boy. Well, that's enough of that. Supreme Court has a lot of work to do and little time to do it with a sizable case backlog. Well, that's going to be very important. This week becomes very important. Next week becomes even more important because it is going to be bad. From what I can gather, Supreme Court, they've been putting up chain link, barbed wire all around the Supreme Court. Why would they be doing this? Why would they be doing this? Because they've got presidential immunity, January 6th, emergency abortion, guns, homelessness, Chevron, social media, Purdue Pharma, wealth tax, air pollution, SEC. These are all things that the Supreme Court are supposed to be looking at. Most likely, they are going to have a ruling on presidential immunity this next couple of weeks. And he's arguing that he's immune from prosecution for official acts that he took in office, that the indictment he faces on charges of interference must be dismissed. Yeah, protection from rioters. I could change your image of Ukrainian women real quick. Some are the most attractive women in the world. Oh no, trust me, I know. I met plenty of Ukrainian women in my life. There was a lot of Ukrainian immigrants that lived and worked not too far from where I lived and worked. And yes, they were pretty unbelievably smoking hot. I was blown away. Trust me, I know. The Supreme Court has previously ruled that former presidents can't be sued in civil cases for what they did in office, but has never weighed in on criminal immunity. The timing of the decision may be important as the outcome because of his thing in D.C. The January 6th, former Pennsylvania police officers challenging the validity of obstruction charges brought against hundreds of people who took part in January 6th. That's all I have to say. Trump faces the same charge of obstructing. The issue is whether a law meant to discourage tampering with the documents sought in investigations can be used. Yeah. But they tampered with documents. That's the problem. Emergency abortion. There's a second abortion case on the docket this year, is whether doctors can provide the medical procedure in emergencies in states that banned abortion after court overturned v. Reid. These idiots, I can sit there and read through this, but I can almost tell you that every single state has it in there where the doctor, if the mother's life is threatened, that the doctor will perform what needs to be performed. And in the case out of Idaho, Biden administration, oh, there it is. Yeah, the Biden administration says they must be allowed in emergencies where a woman's health is at risk. And the state is saying, no, it's already there. That ban does not allow those to say you don't need any exceptions. Because it does allow those to save a woman's life. So why would we need a law to expand it? Don't need it. Is it guns? Justices are weighing whether to uphold federal law that seeks to protect domestic violence victims. No, these are red flag laws. By keeping guns away from people alleged to have abused them. They struck down the law that prohibits people under restraining orders from possessing firearms. That court found that the law violated the Second Amendment to keep and bear arms following the Supreme Court's 2020 ruling that expanded gun rights and changed how courts are supposed to evaluate gun restrictions. I would go so far as to say if you're worried about a spouse that is abusive to you and they happen to own firearms, there's a solution. It's not a great one, but there is a solution. One, arm yourself and get the hell away. Exactly, MG. It did not expand gun rights. That's the confusion with these folks. It did not expand anything. All it did was change how they're supposed to evaluate those restrictions. Kept them exactly as they are. This is the bad part about the AP. They have horrible reporting. And then whenever they do horrible reporting, they won't say who actually reported on it. This is the homelessness. So how does the Supreme Court deal with homelessness? In decades on homelessness centers on whether people can be banned from sleeping outdoors when shelter space is lacking. Well, this has to do with San Francisco. San Francisco said that amounts to cruel and unusual punishment. To arrest somebody. Wait, so if you arrest them, they go to jail. They're not homeless anymore. Yes. That is not confusion. They know exactly what they were saying. It's intentional propaganda. I know. I know. That is exactly how the AP does it, though. They do these kind of things. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And yes. Oh, my gosh. God. No. Okay. That was, wow. I got messages last night and they just now came through. That's so weird. I looked this morning and I didn't get any. That was yesterday. Oh, geez. Holy crap. No, I didn't. You know what, MG? I went to sleep early last night. I just now saw your message. I looked this morning. I didn't see any messages. So weird. So crazy. Oh my gosh. So this right here is it. Well, let them sleep outside and suffer the consequences. San Francisco. It's all on you. Reduce taxes, restore the state to a more livable situation for the average person, quit being a sanctuary for illegals, don't give out welfare for able-bodied people who are just being lazy, and on and on and on and on. Yeah, lots can be done to make California a better place. No, they've intentionally turned California into an absolute crap hole. It's sort of the hazing as you get run out of your state. Get rid of Newsom, all your current representation. They're not helping you. No, keep them. Let California fail. Let California fail. Chevron, the justice could overturn a 40-year-old decision that has been cited thousands of times in federal court cases and used to uphold regulations on the environment, public health, workplace safety, and consumer products. Protection, sorry. The decision colloquially known as Chevron calls on judges to defer to federal regulators when the words of a statute are not crystal clear. The decision has, just to weigh in on that kind of thing, you gotta really do this correctly.
Hey, Riding Hood, want to be eaten by the big bad wolf?
Fuck you, new bomb.
I knew that would get you this morning. I did not even see your message last night, man. I finished up game, and we had a blast, and I think I finished up about 10 o'clock. Is that right? I don't know when I finished. I know that I shut down my computer at 11 o'clock last night, went to sleep. It was a long day. I mean, I spent the entire day just cleaning, and last night was just like I can't even think about doing a stream.
Yeah, my allergies, and I had to be on the road. I'm on the road, so I just had to be up early. I was like, I just can't stream. So
yeah, so you didn't stream last night?
Jessica Reloaded had mentioned the night before about playing Party Animals last night, and I thought about it. I was like, well, Shizzy's offline, and she wasn't online on Discord. I was like, well, I'm not gonna just I'm not gonna play by myself. So
yeah, that's no fun. That's no fun.
I
Yeah, I mean,
just didn't feel like I didn't have anything really to cover. I mean, I'm not going to cover the Ricada stuff because it's a bunch of
everybody's
crap right
covered.
now. Well,
It
and
is.
I'm not going to cover it right now until you get to hearings. Nothing stated right now matters.
Yeah.
And so, I don't quite trust the report that came out with some of the numbers because it's just the kids. People wouldn't be here with us today if they were true members. So,
that's why
just,
I'm like, I looked at that and I was just like, I don't know what to think of this until this is actually brought into court. Like if this stuff is true, then okay, that's pretty freaking bad. But this is just what I understand. People on Kiwi farms, and then people on Kiwi farms.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
well, it's just that's something that should have never been released, and it was released unredacted. And I have a problem with it. I'm not going to cover it. I'm not going to sit there and redact it, which I could do. I can redact PDFs, but I'm not going to sit there and do it.
Nope.
I would have been the only one doing it probably because I don't think anybody else redacted.
If
they showed it.
I think Meme redacted it. Like I think he went through and redacted it, but Meme has a way of covering things that I don't know. It comes across as not taking any sort of sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he kind of went off yesterday.
Well, possibly.
He had stuff to say. So
I'm sure he did. Everybody has stuff to say, but that's why I'm staying out of it because I don't know all the details. Yep. And Cody redacted it too. Yeah. See? Tug redacted it. I watched a little bit of Tug, but here's the thing with Ricada, and I think that Ricada did what he does, and nobody's going to tell him any different.
Yeah, well,
he's going to do.
We don't know the whole story.
Exactly.
The details coming out of that household are coming from a damn cuck who is pissed off that he's got a shitty damn YouTube show and that can't compare to what Nick had, and his wife left him.
Yeah.
So we don't know what he said. What he's saying can be completely made up and fabricated, and we don't know.
Yeah.
Until it's stated under oath, we don't know what's true and what's not. And even then, we don't know what's true because look at Laura Owens. Half the shit she said under oath was false too. So, we don't know what's true.
Oh, that's horrible. How about covering the case of why I know MG this morning? Expert was looking for a redirect.
Yeah, I did seriously consider it, but I had to be up to drive to court this morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could do it. I could stream for a little bit. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Because Expert had like 500 people in chat.
I redirected to him. I was just like, I just wanted a game for a little bit and then just, go about my day. I mean, get some rest. Like I was looking to see if you were streaming. I was like, oh, he's not as good because I need to go to sleep. I would end up going and showing up and not get to sleep until like 1 o'clock in the morning. But
yeah, well, it wasn't going to be a late stream anyway. I mean, we're just going to play a few rounds of Party Animals be done. But because I just didn't really have anything to cover. It's like
Friday for me is going to be an interesting day because it'll be the last day before because my brother-in-law and his family is going to be showing up Saturday. So
yeah,
they'll be in like Saturday evenings. Probably do some sort of stream in the morning. I think it's going to be more difficult towards the end of the week because they're going to be back in on Thursday. And they were talking about going down to the aquarium or something like that on Thursday.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a bad idea. And they were just like, why? I was like, because that is going to be the debate with Trump and Biden, and good luck moving around downtown Atlanta.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, and probably Friday is just.
Is it being held in Atlanta?
Yeah. I believe they're doing it at CNN. It's being pre-recorded at CNN.
No, of course it is.
Yeah,
Because you got one candidate can't stand up there and do anything live
exactly.
and have a live audience because he'd get booed off the stage probably.
Pretty
even
much.
though the people at CNN like him.
Awesome. Valhalla broke 3,000 on his birthday. Awesome.
Oh, that's
love
cool.
it. That is so cool. That is so very cool. I am
And
glad.
Baker broke 6 last night.
Nice. Yes. I love it when that happens. See, this is why, you know, like Broken Baker, Valhalla, these are guys that stay out of the drama. Like you want to see an example of people staying out of the drama, Broken Baker, Valhalla, The Expert, and you watch their channels grow. Watch their channels grow. I mean, because drama is low-hanging fruit, and everyone knows that low-hanging fruit, because it's really easy, it's also rots really fast. Rots really damn fast. The quicker off the vine, the faster it goes bad. Of course, rotted food does tend to make good wine, sometimes cheap wine. But yeah, so Chevron, this thing with Chevron has long been targeted by conservatives.
It's long overdue.
Interests who say Chevron robs judges of their authority and gives too much power to regulators.
Yep, absolutely.
Nice.
Basically, it's the legal theory that when you have an agency that Congress that writes a regulation, and then it's challenged constitutionally, then the court is saying it's Chevron deference. When Chevron was involved in a case back in the 80s,
right,
challenging and challenging an issue, an agency decision. Well, the agency makes their decision, then the court is like, well, we're going to give deference to that because they're the experts. They know what they're doing. And so we're going to, their interpretation of that rule under the law and how the law applies to that rule is going to be given great deference.
That's good.
And so that's why it allowed the state to explode. And the administrative state runs everything. So even when you change Congress and change president, all of these permanent career bureaucrats in these agencies are the ones running.
EPA.
So it doesn't change.
The ATF. Oh, it's not the ATF anymore. It's fate. It's the firearm. It is. What is it? Because
firearms,
because
alcohol, tobacco, explosives.
Yeah.
It's ATFE. Isn't
it? Well, it's fate.
Yeah, well,
it's fate.
Fake is what it is.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It shouldn't even exist.
Yeah. Well, and that sort of goes to this whole thing with the domestic violence, the red flag laws. Like those, they don't tell you that's what's
unconstitutional.
Yeah,
they violate due process, basic due process.
Yeah. Yep.
And the Second Amendment, but they violate basic due process. I can accuse anybody of something, and they come and take your guns without any due process whatsoever.
And what happens whenever?
And then you can't defend yourself.
Exactly. Oh, social media. 3 cases remain unresolved. Intersection of social media and government. 2 cases involve Texas and Florida that would limit how Facebook, TikTok, X, YouTube, and other social media platforms regulate content posted by their users.
Yeah,
While the details vary, both laws aim to address conservative complaints that the social media companies are liberal-leaning and censors use their base on their viewpoints, especially on the right. Because right now, just me talking about disagreeing with us spending billions of dollars in Ukraine will flag my channel.
Yep.
Because
your monetization will go yellow before the end of the stream, or at least right after it.
Oh yeah, it completely does, and I expect it. It is.
They do it to almost every one of my streams, even when I'm just like the other night reading through Judge Mata's ruling, and it was green until I woke up the next morning. So at some point after I ended the stream and got up the next morning, that's when they turned it yellow.
I have a question for you. how long was that stream?
I was a few hours long. I don't know.
There you go.
I know it's more than 2 hours.
Okay, so this is what expert was talking about the other night. He was saying, I think I figured out why channels are going yellow after their stream finishes, because anything past 2 hours, the ad revenue cuts off. Like if you watch, the ad revenue after 2 hours gets shut off.
Wow.
So that's why it's becoming
Ain't
yellow.
right.
Of course it ain't right, but that's what they're saying. Like at that 2 hour mark, they mark it as not
because they're not really monitoring what you're saying after 2 hours as much.
I guess. I don't know. But it's that 2 hour window.
Kind of, because that 2 hour mark is kind of understood as when you can just start saying whatever the hell you want.
And that's why you get limited.
So the advertisers probably like, after 2 hours, unless you clear it, we don't want to, which is still BS.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
just switch to more late night advertisers.
Yes. No, it's just the 2 hour mark.
Raid Shadow Legends isn't going to care what we're talking about.
Yeah. Can you shoot me a quick email so I can have yours? Bad duck. So both laws aim to address concern. In the third case, so there's 2 cases involved in Texas and Florida. In the third case, Republican-led states are suing the Biden administration over how far the federal government can go to combat controversial social media posts on topics included the COOF and election security.
Well, the government can't do it at all,
but they can.
That's the problem, is they're doing it by proxy through these companies.
Social media sites. The federal appeals
which essentially makes them arms of the state, and they could be that and any of these, they claim that they're simply platforms.
Well,
but the moment they start choosing what can be published and not, they then become publishers, and they no longer have Section 230 protection.
Right. A federal appeals court sided with the states on this, that the administration officials unconstitutionally coerced the platforms to limit conservative points of view. Purdue Pharma, Supreme Court.
It's not even conservative points of view, it's just anybody challenging the narrative.
Yeah. Well,
which typically would be a conservative point of view, given the media.
Right. Isn't that because I go yellow and Valhalla is green? I'm trying to think what could be. Well, that is true, but also it may be the kind of content that he's putting out.
Oh, they're streaming the Karen Reed trial together.
I know.
They're dual streaming it, so whatever content is on Baker's is going through to.
Well, that's why I don't think it's content. It could be from where you're at. I don't know. Does it stay that way? I mean, I don't know. It could be that.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense unless because it's Baker's stream and he's the actual host.
Right. I think that might be it. That could be it also.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But see, that doesn't make any sense either, because whenever Junior and I were streaming together, her channel would get knocked and mine wouldn't. Like hers would go yellow almost immediately and mine wouldn't.
But she was the host, wasn't she?
Yeah. No, I was the host. No, I'd be the host, and she.
Yeah, they don't like Jessica. They don't like Jessica.
Well, because she's a horrible, mean, cruel person.
She is. She's so just the worst.
Breaks my heart.
Horrible little stepchild.
Horrible little stepchild.
She's not redheaded, or I think she's gonna deserve to get beat like a redheaded stepchild.
So there also is on the thing of wealth tax. A business-backed challenge to tax on foreign income is being watched closely for what it might say about the fate of a wealth tax, and often discussed but never implemented tax. Yeah, that's not what it is. That is just taxing Americans because they have more money. Like, it's ridiculous. Air pollution. Republican-led energy-producing states and steel industry want the court to put the EPA on hold while legal challenges continue. The plan aims to protect downwind states that receive unwanted air pollution from other states. This is like secondhand smoke. Oh, Jesus. SEC, another important regulatory case. Well, another important regulatory case could strip the SEC of major fighting tool in fighting securities frauds and have far-reaching effects on other regulatory agencies. The court is being asked to rule that people facing civil fraud complaints have the right to a jury trial in federal court. No,
They should.
what? I agree.
They're being charged with it. Even with there's months. Go ahead.
I have a bigger challenge for the SEC, bigger problem with the SEC, which I think that this should be implemented across the freaking board. If you're a freaking politician, no one in your family, no one related or tied to you is able to hold any stock. As soon as you're not able to buy, you're not able to sell throughout your whole term. No one in your family is allowed to.
Well, you can hold whatever you have. There's no trading going on. You have to hold.
Right. Yes.
And anything you do that you actually do would have to be through, some sort of, fund, like, that a market fund, whatever the market fund,
Yeah. Yeah. It
funds
has to
are,
be
whatever it is.
Yes. And the same way
you're trading with the market itself.
Yeah.
That you don't get to buy and sell individual stocks. Everything you do has got to be bundles. Got to be funds. So that you're trading with the market itself. So if the market goes up, overall you make money. If it doesn't, you lose money.
Exactly.
So that your actions and your laws, what your goals are, it's to, you want to make money, but you only make it when everybody else is making it.
Exactly. Well, and I like that guy's idea whenever he said, "Hey, we should eliminate this this ability for people to get paid more than their median income of their state. If you don't like how much your state is making, then you need to fix that. So that way your median income goes up. Everybody benefits in this case instead of some people just getting it."
Yeah.
And then there's also this interesting story. There's what to know about bump stocks and the Supreme Court ruling striking down a ban on their gun accessory. Well, what do we need to know? They struck it down. As
you need to know is they just said that the ATF can't do it the way they did it. Congress needs to do it. What
are the bump stocks? They're accessory to replace a rifle stock and gets pressed against the shoulder. They were not invented. Well, of course, they were invented after that, but the reason that they were invented was because of disabled veteran invented this.
Yep.
Why were they banned? More than 2,200 people attending the country. No, and this was this, and I will say this is something that Trump put in place. He was the one that signed off on the banning of it. In a 6-3 majority opinion written by Clarence Thomas, said the ATF did not have the authority to issue the regulation banning this. The justice said the bump stock is not an illegal machine gun because it doesn't make the weapon fire more than one shot with a single pull of the trigger. Absolutely does not. You have, and
even if it did, that's the thing is, even if it did, the Constitution protects your right to have a fucking machine gun. I'm sorry.
Yes. Do any states have their own bans? Yes, at least 15 and DC also have their own ban on those. Most state laws, however, remain in place because the decision covered the ATF rule, not the constitutionally of the state level bans, according to David Pacino, who challenged the ban of boot group, blah, blah, blah. A bump stock ban on behalf of Mark Cargill, a Texas gun shop owner. Cargill bought 2 bump stocks in 2018, then surrendered them once the federal ban took effect. The case didn't directly address Second Amendment rights. Yeah. How did the case end up before the Supreme Court? Supreme Court took up the case after lower courts delivered conflicting rulings on whether the ATF could ban these. The ban survived challenges before the Cincinnati 6th District Court of Appeals, the Denver-based 10th, and the federal court in Washington. But the 5th U.S. Court, appeals-based New Orleans, struck down the ban when it ruled the Texas case last year. The court's majority in the 13-3 decision found that a plain reading of the statutory language showed that weapons fitted with bump stops could not be regulated as machine
Yeah, I'm kind of
guns.
surprised the 10th Circuit upheld it, knowing the 10th Circuit.
Well, you know, they don't like dipping their toe into politics. That is the
Well,
biggest
it's not.
thing.
I mean, it's not political there. You're looking at the statutory construction, so it's a pure question of law, and it doesn't. Bump stocks clearly does not fall under the definitions that are in the statutes passed by Congress.
So this one I'm going to have to mute. This next thing I'm going to show, I'm going to have to mute. So there's a
I was
scene.
just going to say they did all of that after the Vegas shooting. He didn't use bump stocks.
Yeah.
We can move on, but those were not used. You don't hear the bump stock being used in that. So
Nope, not at all. So this right here will be covered at some point. I guarantee you there will be something that comes out showing that Trump is incapable. Let me show you what exactly happened. So this is what was going on. His son was reaching up to give him a fist bump, shake his hand, and this is what they showed to make it look like he was helping him. But all it was is
instead of fist bumping or shaking his hand, he just grabbed his hand. Yay, buddy.
Yep. And then they moved on. But they're going to try to make it look like he's incapable of walking by himself. He needs help walking and all this kind of crap. As you can clearly see, nothing there is needed. See, watch as he comes in, shakes his hand, and this is the picture that they're showing. Yeah. So keep that in mind whenever they start showing Trump as being incapable, because that's all going to be propaganda. No different than the God blessed propaganda that we're going to see over the next couple of weeks going into the first debate. I haven't seen him fall yet going up a flight of stairs, but you know what? To Biden's kudos, he was able.
Those are a lot of steps, so
he was able to get back up and continue on making it up
and fall again, and then fall again. But
but he fell 3 times. And he still made it to the damn top of the stairs.
Yeah, looking at those steps, I mean, with that red carpet on it, I probably would trip too.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of steps, and
there's a lot.
I'm sure the way that they're carpeted, the depth perception isn't great, so I might fall. I probably would fall.
Yeah,
and then part of his problem, he's trying to run up the stairs.
Yes,
yeah, instead of just walking.
I can tell you, I've done that in my own home, just going up a flight, one floor. He's going up like 2 floors. So
at least
I like to make fun of it because it looks, God bless it, funny.
It's hilarious.
It is, but I do that on a regular basis, and I'm nowhere near his age. And the fact that he was able to get up and make it up the rest of the stairs, man, I would have been like, oh, well, that really up and hurt. I think I don't want to go up the stairs now.
Bad
duck for a second.
I'm on my phone, Bad Duck, so I can't always see everything posted in chat unless I have chat up. I don't see it.
Yeah, he's not going to see it.
If you said good morning this morning to all you people in chat this morning, good morning. So
he knows you're there. Good Lord Almighty, you guys need to chill. If you quit playing karate and breaking your groin, you could walk right. Hey, Dave, it has been a minute. I don't know. I've been here the whole time.
Dave Umbarger, what's up?
Good to see you. I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you're doing well. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all you fine folks over to see Mo. She gives you. She doesn't go as hard as I do. She's a little more gentle. She doesn't get involved in all the political stuff. She just likes to give you the news that's unbridled and beautiful.
I want her to read Laura Owen's latest Medium article.
Oh, Oh, I really want to read that on my channel, just because there's so much there.
Such bullshit. Apparently, there's a response from a Clayton Eckert supporter.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. There usually is, folks. Everyone, go hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up whenever you meet Bo. Peace, y'all.
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut.